I won a big competition. It's bodybuilding.com. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're the largest online supplement place. They were this biggest brand in the fitness industry. Anyways, I did that competition. And then as soon as I did that, the whole world changed for me. I was getting big sponsor deals. I was on the cover of magazine, but it all just changed really fast for me. Once the competition happened, once that was my big break, I guess. And then everything kind of led from there. And I, at this point, kind of realized that carbohydrates you had to cut them in the bodybuilding industry. It's like everybody knows, before photo shoots, before competitions, you reduce the carbohydrates. When you want to bulk, get big, you increase the carbohydrates. So that alone was like, I was onto that. I'm like, I got that secret figured out. I ended up working at a mental health facility, big time, big place. All of these kids, 18, like around 18, 20 to 25-year-olds, I think, or maybe 34. Anyways, they all suffer from mental illness, and they come from all over the country, and they stay at this campus in Atlanta. And the problem with mental health issues, a lot of these people take medication that makes you gain 30 pounds. And so they were doing a study on metabolic syndrome, trying to kind of figure out this whole thing. They put them on keto. I was there as the trainer. My only job was to train these kids in the gym, which was amazing. The positive impact that changed my life forever. Seeing, I was dealing with people who were cutters, right? They were extremely bipolar, schizophrenic. I'll never forget the girl. She was just seeing numbers in sky and stuff, and like I'm getting emotional just thinking about it back. Yeah, they gave this kids that diet, and it worked, big time worked. And nobody knew about it. And I'm like, I just found the holy grail. And so I started using keto personally. Because I had to be in top condition all year round. If my sponsors called me and said, Jason, you need to get on a plane, you're going to go shoot this magazine now, I had to be ready then. I didn't have time to prepare. So that means cutting carbs at that point was like, I had to cut carbs forever. But as a bodybuilder, before, I would cut carbs and boost the protein through the roof and keep the fat low. That was like what every bodybuilder did. Keto showed me, no, you cut the carbs out, you eliminate that fuel source, and you replace it with healthy fats, and you all of a sudden have a bunch of energy. And it worked amazing. I was able to cut carbs, have more energy than I even know what to do with. I didn't want to tell anybody. It was like my secret competitive advantage. I was like, I'm not telling anybody. Then I started putting my clients on it, and people started getting results. Then I made one YouTube video, and I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to tell everybody the secret to losing weight with the ketogenic diet. And I guess, so I really feel like I was there at the very, 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 very beginning of keto, which is cool to see the whole, it's been 5 years now, to see the whole, I did not ever in my mind think that keto would get big. I hoped it would, but when I shot that video, there was no keto products. There was no keto information. It was just a YouTube video. And I don't count calories. I don't track macros. I don't do portion control. I don't do any of that stuff. And I encourage other people not to either. When you balance and regulate blood sugar and insulin, you can be aligned in the wild. You don't have to be aligned in a cage anymore. You can listen to your body. So over the years, I've been very, very instinctive and intuitive with my eating. And I find that as long as I keep blood sugar balanced specifically, my hunger cues I can trust. When you're on a blood sugar roller coaster up and down, that advice goes out the window, because as soon as you hit the down, you're hungry again. And your body, it's like being addicted to drugs. Yeah, if I train legs today, I'll eat 4 meals, 5 meals. If I don't work out today, it might be 1, 2. Someday it's wildly different. And my goal is to keep blood sugar as low as I possibly can first thing in the morning. So I take the egg whites out, the protein out, and I keep the fat with the yolk. Keto works because you basically balance and control blood sugar, right? When you spike blood sugar, your pancreas has to secrete a hormone called insulin. Insulin now has to take that blood sugar and store it inside either muscle cells or fat cells. If your muscle cells are full, which most people's are, it goes into fat cells. Intermittent fasting works because you're controlling and balancing blood sugar. Think about it. When you're asleep at night, your blood sugar and insulin levels are rock bottom, which means you can burn fat. When you wake up first thing in the morning, the worst thing to do is spike blood sugar. So the easiest way to not do that is not eat. So that's why intermittent fasting works. It's not because you're eating less calories. It's because you're able to continue with low blood sugar and insulin levels, right? Carnivore works the exact same way by controlling and balancing blood sugar. by not eating carbohydrates at all. And high fat protein does nothing to your blood sugar. I just tested a steak on my continuous glucose monitor and it did nothing to my blood sugar. I did black coffee, did absolutely nothing, in case people were curious about that. Black coffee, there's a little red dot there, I don't know if you can see it, and then it does nothing. You see your blood sugar is good. Here's steak for the carnivores out there. Steak, absolutely nothing. Chipotle. Goldfish crackers. You see that big, huge spike? You feel great on the way up, and on the way down, you feel horrible. And anytime you spike blood sugar like that, like I said, you're not burning fat, because high amounts of insulin in the bloodstream prevents you from burning fat. So, and these are 2-hour windows. So it takes 2 hours for my blood sugar to come back down. If you're insulin resistant, it's going to take you 4 hours, if not more. Insulin resistance is at the core of a lot of the issues. 1 out of 3 people are pre-diabetic in our country. Mm-hmm. And they estimate that 80% of them don't even have a clue. Why? Not because they ate too much, it didn't work out enough, because they spike blood sugar multiple times a day, every single day, weeks, months, years, abuse the hell out of their pancreas, unfortunately, and the pancreas is about to just quit. It's a serious thing. People are like, why is this dude? I get a lot of hate from doing these videos. Calorie counting, the nutritionists who just want to ignore this stuff and just focus on starving their clients out. I get, why is this guy doing this? It's like, yo, this country's screwed. We got a big problem. Obesity, massive problem. Childhood diabetes, childhood obesity. If you look around at all the kids these days, they're fat. As soon as I slapped this monitor on and I started seeing my fluctuations and stuff, I'm like, my God, the average Americans must just be a disaster. Like, somebody asked me, like, what's ideal, like, for blood sugar? It's like, you want to be out in the ocean with like small waves, no big tidal waves. They're going to come crashing the boat over. Yep. And I'm just thinking most of these people are just out in a storm in the middle of the ocean, just waves like crazy. Rule number 1 is eat real food. That should be the rule for any diet you follow. Like, that's just plain and simple. But on a blood sugar perspective, a whole food takes longer to break down versus a processed and refined food that's been done it's been broken down in the factory, so it gets to your stomach, it just goes into the bloodstream like right away. Not good. So eat real foods, number 1. Control your carbs is number 2. And then I figured that there are 3 different types of carbs. Low impact carbs are foods that are healthy for you and do not spike blood sugar. Green leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, blueberries, different types of berries, these types of foods, right? You can eat as many of those as you want. You're good. You're going to keep blood sugar balanced. Then high impact carbs are foods that spike blood sugar, but they're super healthy for you, like banana, sweet potato, brown rice. Before I did the cooled one, Ezekiel bread, all these watermelon, pineapple, all these foods. So the idea is you can do 1 serving of high impact carbs a day, meaning you can spike blood sugar once a day, and it's going to be with these healthy foods, right? And the best time to do it is going to be after the workout, because when you work out, you deplete glycogen, you spike blood sugar, you spike insulin. Insulin's going to take that blood sugar, put it inside the muscle cell instead of the fat cell. If you don't work out, the best time is as late in the day as you possibly can. The last one is forbidden carbs. That's when you spike blood sugar and it's got nothing in it for you. There's no sugar, bad food, unprocessed crap that spikes blood sugar with no nutrition. So rule number 3, eat high fat protein. That was like the biggest thing when I was a bodybuilder back in the day, bro, like, 10 years ago, it was always like eat tilapia and chicken breast and all this stuff. Well, lean meat spikes blood sugar more than fatty meat. And I'll tell you the truth, if you look at every animal in the wild, like a lion, for example, if they're going to go make a kill, they eat the fattiest part of the animal first, because that's where all the nutrition is at. And they leave the lean stuff for the scavengers. So eat the whole egg, not egg whites. Eat salmon, not tilapia. Eat regular bacon, not turkey bacon. Eat ground beef, not ground turkey. You get it? Rule number 4, another thing they lie to you about, eat more healthy fats. Fat does not spike blood sugar, which is great. But when you add fat to protein and other meals, it blunts the response of blood sugar down. And then the 5th rule is don't count calories, because you want to be a lion in the wild, not a lion in the cage, like I said before. Like, just being a 500 calorie deficit, right? Well, here's the problem. You got calories in, and they'll say, okay, hey, eat 1,500 calories every day, no matter what. Okay, cool. And then eat at a 500 calorie deficit. That's calories in, you set 1,500. Calories out changes dramatically every single day. The body doesn't work like a start at this time and then end it, do the tabulation. Yep, we burned this much fat. Like, it doesn't work like that at all. Calorie counting has crushed more dreams than anything else in existence. You did not get fat because you ate too much food and you didn't work out enough. You got fat because you ate the wrong types of foods. And fortunately for you, you can do something about that. You don't have to go starve yourself. Willpower has nothing to do with it.